Remember sitting in health class, staring at that colorful food pyramid, trying to make sense of why you were supposed to eat 11 servings of bread a day? Or thinking that avoiding butter and eggs would somehow make you healthier? Yeah, turns out a lot of what we learned was wrong. But here's the twist. It wasn't just outdated. Some of it was never rooted in science at all. In this video, we're going to bust the biggest myths you were taught in health class. From misleading nutrition charts to the truth about fitness. Stick around because what you're about to learn might just change how you think about your body, your food, and your health. Let's go back to the 90s, a time of Walkmans, denim jackets, and yes, the infamous food pyramid. Introduced in 1992 by the USDA, it seems simple. More grains, fewer fats, moderate proteins. But here's the thing. That pyramid was more political than scientific. At the time, grain-based foods were cheap and heavily subsidized by the government. The pyramid recommended up to 11 servings of bread, pasta, or rice daily, regardless of whether those grains were refined or whole. Many of us remember thinking that a big bowl of white pasta with a slice of Wonder Bread was healthy because it checked the boxes. But we weren't taught the difference between complex carbs and empty calories. Nutritionists now say it wasn't just flawed, it actually contributed to a surge in childhood obesity. Why? Because it taught an entire generation to overload on refined carbs and fear fats altogether. In health class, protein was just meat, nuts, and beans, all thrown together in a single category. But red meats like beef or bacon were listed alongside lean chicken or legumes. That's like saying a donut and an apple are both snacks. Technically true, but completely misleading. Over the past decade, numerous studies have shown strong links between high red meat consumption and chronic illnesses like heart disease, diabetes, and even certain cancers. Meanwhile, plant-based proteins are gaining praise for their anti-inflammatory benefits. If we had been taught to treat food more like medicine, understanding its long-term impact, maybe we'd be looking at very different public health stats today. Ah yes, the fat phobia era. Remember when margarine was marketed as the heart-healthy alternative to butter? Or when you avoided avocado like it was poison? In the 80s and 90s, low-fat diets were all the rage. Schools taught that fats were the enemy, leading many of us to load up on sugary, fat-free snacks that were actually worse for our health. Today we know that not all fats are bad. In fact, mono and polyunsaturated fats, like those found in olive oil, nuts, and fatty fish, are essential for heart health and brain function. A Mediterranean diet, rich in these good fats, is now considered one of the healthiest eating styles in the world. Here's a hard truth. The USDA, which created the food pyramid and its successors, also exists to promote the agricultural industry. That means it's influenced by powerful lobby groups like meat, dairy, and sugar. This conflict of interest has long raised red flags. Can an agency that supports farmers also create unbiased health advice? The 2005 pyramid redesign was even more confusing. Vertical color bands, no labels, and still heavily influenced by industry ties. By 2011, My Plate replaced the pyramid. It's better, encouraging half your plate to be fruits and veggies, but still sidesteps some of the more controversial food debates. Health class taught us to fear cholesterol and shun butter. Eggs were demonized, bacon was forbidden. Turns out dietary cholesterol doesn't impact blood cholesterol as much as we were taught, and some saturated fats in moderation aren't as dangerous as once thought. Now, eggs are considered a great source of protein and healthy fats. Butter in moderation may even be better than margarine with trans fats. Health class gave us a rule book, but no one told us the rules would change every 5 years. If you want to lose weight, just exercise more. Yes, exercise helps, but it's not a magic bullet. It boosts mood, metabolism, and heart health, but it also increases appetite. Many people who start working out gain weight initially, especially if they don't also change their diet. That's not failure, it's biology. One fitness coach shared that many of his clients got discouraged after working out for weeks without seeing scale changes until they realized strength, endurance, and mood were improving dramatically. Remember running laps in gym class or doing jumping jacks for credit? Aerobics were the holy grail. Now we know the best results come from variety, combining aerobic activity with resistance training and high-intensity intervals, HIIT. Professional athletes rarely rely on just cardio. Strength, agility, and endurance are developed through a mix of routines, something students were rarely taught. A recent study found that 19-year-olds are now as sedentary as 60-year-olds. That's not just about laziness, it's systemic. Schools have reduced physical education time, and screens dominate free time. Maybe instead of forcing kids to memorize how many servings of fruit to eat, we should be teaching them how to move, cook, and manage stress. Health class isn't useless, but it's outdated. We need to shift from memorizing outdated charts to understanding how to live well. Teach critical thinking about health studies. Encourage cooking, real food literacy. Prioritize mental health alongside physical. Teach students to question trends, not follow them blindly. The biggest myth we learned in health class? That one-size-fits-all advice works. Real health is personal. It's about trial and error, learning your body, staying curious, and being kind to yourself. Thank you for watching the entire video. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any useful content. Goodbye and see you again. Bye-bye.